Okay, I'd like to get started. Congratulations on the victory. I'd like to, Coach, if you could start out by giving your brief impression about the game, and then we'll open it up for more specific questions from the media. Your general comments, please.
Sure. The girls, they came out and started. They played a really nice first half. It took us a little while to get our offense going, but we finally started to get the ball inside, and that paid off huge dividends for us. And then in the third quarter, we decided to give them some extra chances at scoring points by turning the ball over quite a few times. And once we got that under control, they just played a fundamentally sound game on defense, which I'm not sure if East Troy has seen a lot of that all year. I don't know, we used our height to our advantage both on the defensive end and on the offensive end. So,
questions?
Just talk about you guys have been down here pretty much every year, forever it seems like, and then they're making their first appearance. Just talk about that and how that might have played a factor today.
Well, I'll start first, and then they can comment. This, again, people keep saying that we've been down here over and over again, but every year it's a little different experience. But my juniors and seniors and even the couple sophomores I have on the team, they really have just kept their composure really well. All day yesterday, they were extremely relaxed. This morning when we got up for breakfast, it was a very relaxed environment. And I think that just played in huge. Watching East Troy shoot in warm-ups, a few of them were pretty long, and I think that's the jitters. And then I glanced onto our end, and ours were right on target. So I think, the experience definitely helped us out and played a factor versus how many times they've been here. But feel free to add.
I think just being down here a few times before, we knew what to expect, and we knew the atmosphere and just how to stay calm and composed.
Coach, I think you guys shot 54%. That's a pretty good shooting. Have your teams always? Is that one of the better shooting games you've had here at the Kohl Center?
At the Kohl Center, yes, for sure. Again, Abby has a wonderful shooting percentage. I think she just improved. I think she was shooting 70% from the field, and a 7 for 8 performance has to help that out or keep that there. We shot really well. Again, if we get it inside and we can go to the rim, we're really good in the paint, and then we're really good at inside-out shooting as well. So once we get it inside, my shooters are much better catch facing the basket and shoot than they are side to side.
Abby, I think you were 7 of 8 or 6 of 7 in the first half, and at times it looked, relatively easy. I mean, I guess just talk about your first half, and when you have that kind of height advantage. I mean, was it, as with all due respect, as easy as it looked at times?
Yeah, well, the guards got me the ball in good spots for me to make it look easy. But I don't know, I couldn't have done it without them. So, and at practice we work hard at getting each other strong, so that helped too. But yeah, they just got me the ball in good spots. So.
Coach, could you just talk about the defensive effort on Gasparovich tonight? And just seemed like she didn't really have a whole lot of space to do much of anything.
Yeah, Tuesday night we brought in our boys basketball team to practice against us to try to simulate her speed. And Allie started on her and then picked up 2 quick fouls. And we had Emily Hanks in the background ready to defend her. And it was a face guard mentality. She gives it up, she doesn't get it back. We also had Abby playing their number 3 guard. And she was our help. So the focus was, we shut her down from the 3-point line outside by face guarding her, not giving her a ton of open space to shoot. And then if she gets past us, she's got to shoot over Abby on the inside. So it seemed to work out pretty well. Again, after Allie came out with those 2 fouls, Emily Hanks stepped up and played huge defense on her and continued to maintain that game plan effectively.
Lisa, East Troy, the team likes to run, but it looked as though the 94 feet kind of neutralized some of that. Either your girls used that extra 10 feet to catch up, or they weren't able to throw long passes. And I guess both you and Allie, if you could comment on that, what you were able to do to kind of keep them from being too effective in transition.
I'll let Allie start.
Well, we conditioned pretty well, so we knew they were going to do that. And we just had the game plan of when a shot goes up, we have to have our top guard go back. So we were well prepared for that.
Yeah, we noticed some drifting that they did on their 2-3 zone in some film, so we definitely set up and really harped on them as far as getting our top guard back to kind of take that away. But, obviously biased here, but our team's pretty quick too. Even for a 6'1" kid, she can outrun some guards, some of our guards. So I wasn't too worried about the fast-paced game because we like to push the ball as well, but we wanted to keep it at our tempo of fast-paced, and I think they did a great job of doing that.
What's different about this club versus the past 3 years where you've been head coach and bringing teams down here? What's one thing they can point to that's really different about this team?
Well, they're very similar to last year's team, but this year we're just a team. It's hard. Abby scored whatever she scored today. I don't know. She was probably our leading scorer, I'm assuming. Yep, 18. But tomorrow it could be Allie with 25, or it could be Miranda, or it could be somebody off the bench. So I think the biggest difference is that we have 10 kids that can play basketball, and anyone can step up. So it's hard to take Abby out of the picture and not get hurt by one of my other kids. Also, my senior leadership is really impressive. I have 5 seniors, and even the ones that don't get a ton of playing time, they're just very instrumental to our practices and stuff like that. So it's a great, very close team, which isn't extremely different from what I've had, but it's probably the closest one that I've had down here.
Lisa, can you just talk about the matchup with Kiwani?
I would love to. I don't know much about them, though. I don't know. I have the mentality of I always take a couple minutes or an hour or two to enjoy the moment, and then I'll get to work, which I told them to do, too. So I don't know much about them. I saw a little bit of their play, but I think we match up pretty well with them, height-wise and guard play-wise. So I'm just excited for a really good battle. I can't give you much more than that yet. Call me in 2 hours.
Any other questions? Seeing, hearing none. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks. We'll be back at it.
Coach, I'd like to get started by getting your initial impressions of the game, and then we'll open it up for additional questions from the media. Your initial comments, please.
Thank you. I thought Oostburg played a really great game. I'm really proud of my kids. I thought they worked their tails off. We have nothing, absolutely nothing to be ashamed of, but Oostburg was just the better team today. and they deserve all the credit, and we wish them the best of luck. We just didn't shoot the ball well enough today. They were around 50-some%, and we just didn't shoot well. And some nights the basketball guys allow them to go in, and some nights they sort of laugh at you. And they had a great joke on us today.
Coach, I guess you talked about the struggle shooting. How much did their size factor into that?
I think their size factored into it because anytime we had a chance to dribble to the gap, it was hard for us to finish because we had to try to shoot over people. Brianna could probably answer that better than me. I mean, those kind of things. But and then I thought they did a great job getting out on us on the wings and made it really tough for us to even swing the ball a little bit. So maybe that was, you got to give them credit as well.
Would you like to add something to that, Brianna?
Yeah, it was really hard to get to the gas and get an open shot before two girls collapse on you, and then they put so much pressure on you when you try to kick it. It was really hard.
And then also, for you talked about how your team likes to push the tempo. I think you had you had 6 fast break points today, and how much when you look at that stat, how key was that not getting those opportunities in your mind?
Well, it's as simple as this. When they don't miss, we don't have a rebound. And when they don't have a rebound, we don't get to run. I mean, it's sort of that simple. And we obviously want to go 1,000 miles an hour. And it was tough for us to go 1,000 miles an hour when they're always taking the ball out of the net. So, and then a lot of the turnovers they had were not steals where we could get down the floor. A lot of those turnovers were travels or just throwing the ball out of bounds, and they didn't have a ton of turnovers. So when you don't get a steal, you don't get to run either because the ball's being taken out of bounds, so that hurt us a little bit.
Coach, you knew about their size advantage in the front court coming in, obviously, but were you still kind of surprised, especially in that first half, how easily they were scoring inside?
No, we knew how big they were, and it's so hard for my kids. And when your tallest starter is 5, she says 5'10", she's 5'9". It's tough for us. I thought we did a decent job of trying to fight for every possession, and I thought we did a better job in the second half of my guards putting more pressure on people to not allow it inside. But they're 6'1" and 6 foot. We're not. I mean, that's just as big as simple as it gets sometimes. And maybe I got to recruit some of those guys from the boys team and put a wig on a couple of them and have a chance next year. So.
Coach, just talk about the contrast in styles between these two clubs and then your first appearance here, and they've been here 6 straight times, 10 overall. Just talk about those different factors today.
First of all, the contrast in styles. We knew how they were going to play. They knew how we were going to play. I thought she did a great job of getting them prepared. I don't know if that 6 times in a row stuff means anything. I don't think it. I don't really care about it, to be absolutely honest with you. And I think sometimes people make more of a big deal out of it than that. We were going to play Oostburg. We weren't going to play all 6 teams. If they had an all-star team of the last 6 teams, then I would have worried about it. But I don't know if that really had a factor. I mean, we played our game. We just didn't shoot the ball well today.
First of all, Rachel looked like I don't know if she got hit in the head. Can you just share a little bit about what happened with her when she went out the game?
The trainer said she got a concussion, so obviously we were not allowed to play her. So that's one of our major scoring options coming off the wing. So that definitely hurt us. And then when one of the best players in state here fouls out, that's another scoring option that gets taken away. And it just got hard. And then we actually had pretty good shots the last 4 minutes, and the basketball gods were laughing.
And then also in the second half, it just seemed like first half they were getting a lot of post touches, and it seemed like just talk about your defense in the second half and how you were able to kind of neutralize that for a while.
In the second half, I thought my guards did a better job of putting more pressure on them. So when they were open, maybe their guards couldn't throw it in at that time. So I thought people like Bree and Dre and Allie and Rachel did a really good job of putting more pressure on the guards, which was more just as essential as trying to front the post and trying to get some help in the post.
Jeff, given that you've got all but 2 players coming back, as you use this game to look ahead to next year, what things will you emphasize?
Rob, we'll emphasize just getting better. We do it on our program, on our practice plan every day. It's just get better today. I mean, the only thing we ever worry about is just trying to get better. I'm really going to miss Taylor and Amy. The tears were flowing for me because I'm going to miss 2 kids, and that hurts more than the loss. I'd rather have them around. I know my juniors are hungry. what a great experience. And if this can't motivate you, maybe you're not very good. So I think this will motivate us. You know, you got to be unbelievably fortunate to get up here. The hard part's getting up here, to be honest with you. And then you got to catch a few breaks because everybody's good up here when you get up here, and obviously Oostburg's really talented.
Brianna, what will you remember most about playing out here today, and how will you use this as motivation?
She really likes her coach. That's what she's going to answer.
Yeah. I think just like knowing when not to foul and knowing that next year, like this is what it's like and it's fun and I want to come back next year and just being smarter, I guess.
The fifth foul was one where it looked like it could have gone either way in terms of the push off, and there was one that went uncalled before that. Does that tend to be what happens when you play the kind of defense you do? You tend to get about maybe 50% of those?
Yeah.
I'd like to think we get less than 50%, but we had to press because we were losing, and we had to press because we were better off trying to get the game going 100 miles an hour. And it's one of those that could go either way. I mean, Brianna got that call in the Richland Center game, and sometimes you roll the dice, and sometimes it comes out good, and sometimes you end up paying the blackjack dealer like I do most of the time.
Any other questions? Seeing none.
I want to thank everybody that covered us this year. I want to thank all the coverage that we got. It was an unbelievable experience, and I can't say anything more about my team. I thought they were absolutely awesome, and I have a great bunch of classy kids. Thank you.